Support for Sweet Feathery Jesus comes from Male Monkey.
From Male Monkey.
Male Kamumpki?
Monkey.
Monkey.
More than 7 million businesses around the world.
Who's the male monkey?
To send better emails, newsletters, and deliver stank fingers.
Mail Monkey. Send cooler email.
Very nice.
I use Mail Monkey.
Oh, you fucking liar.
Welcome to episode 89 of the SweetFeatheryJesus.com podcast. I'm Belasco. I'm in Austin, Texas. Over in the UK, that's Booze.
Stop driving me into Tommy's arms.
And in North Carolina, it's Dr. P.
Hi and hello. This is Professor Chuck Turtleman.
It's Dr. P.
Belasco, stop living in the past.
Can you at least do the catchphrase? I don't care whether you're P. Turtleman or whatever.
Well, until I'm introduced as Chuck Turtleman, my line is now, hi and hello. This is Professor Chuck Turtleman.
Introduce him as Chuck Turtleman and we'll edit it. Oh, shit. He's editing this one as well, isn't he?
Yep.
It's Professor Chuck Turtleman.
What's up, my honkies?
Yeah, we should point out Professor Chuck Turtleman's editing this one because we're too
Because
busy.
everybody liked the last one so much.
Because we're too busy.
It's because I spend 50, 60 hours in front of a computer screen already and I can't edit it again.
Well, that's what you get for living in America.
System
Get back in
system.
Yeah.
Ow.
Chicago.
He'd named
Dude.
some towns.
I should also say...
Hey.
All right, I want you to know when it's midnight when we finish.
I know.
You kept slowing everything
At
down.
least
with
this
your
is
James
something that
Brown
we could
impression.
be using.
He's gone delirious because it's past his 8 o'clock bedtime. So, in light of recent events, we'll no longer be disparaging North Korea or the Supreme Leader,
Kim Jong-il Jr.?
Kim Jong-un. His name is Kim Jong-un.
The little fat midget dude.
It's little person.
High top fade, only it doesn't fade. It just keeps going high top.
Just to be on the safe side, we're not going to be doing any more anti-Belgian material either because they've got computers too now. And whoever's in charge of Belgium these days, can I just say we think you're great. So keep up the good work. Pete, can you duck go? Who's in charge of Belgium these days and put it in your edit? Oh, and we better not do any more chimp stuff either, just in case we anger the monkey god Hanuman.
Okay, and that's going to do it for this week's show.
No, we have got monkeys. Only joking. We've got 2 monkey news rounds, if I'm not mistaken, and we've also got 2 songs about monkeys. Not one song, 2 songs about monkeys.
Wow. That's monkey-rific. I will be editing that the fuck out.
SFJ.
So I've got a bit I've been wanting to do for a while now. You know,
Is it
if you
Dungeons
remember,
and Dragons or...
we've done that, and I will try that again at some point.
Great.
Is it comic books again?
Yes, exactly. Because the sex criminals thing went over so well, I thought I would share with you a little bit from my comic book corner. Belasco loves his comic books. Belasco loves his comic books. Belasco loves his comic books more than you love your pets. Now, first up is a book that's actually going to be wrapping up here very, very soon. Lock and Key.
Lock and Key.
Yes.
I see it's lock spelled with an E.
Yes, it
And
is.
that's their names, right?
That is.
Jo-
That's the name of a family.
Chris Lock and Jimmy Key. And when they get together, it's
They're
Moida.
lock and key.
It's a father with his 3 kids.
Hang on. Who's the father?
Well,
Paul
his last name is Locke.
What's his first name? Alan.
I forget his first name.
Oh, come on. You're reading it and you don't know the protagonist's first name.
I've read the first 2 trade paperbacks of it. I haven't finished the entire series.
Look.
Well, the protagonist's name is somebody.
Well, the
Locke,
father
is
is
it
not the
Al-
protagonist.
Is it Alan Locke? Paul Locke?
No. Anyway, Lock and Key, a family moves in, and it just so happens that hidden within this mansion are keys that do very strange things. Now, this was written...
Not open
doors.
Well, see, that's just it. Certain keys do fit certain locks, but those locks, if you go through those doorways, it can endow you with some very special abilities. Like one key, if you insert the key in the lock and go through the door, it will make you invisible.
Oh, let me guess. One of them lets you fly.
So it's a true story then?
No, it's fiction.
Based on true story.
It's fiction.
yeah.
It's actually written by Joe Hill, which is
Joe Hill.
the pseudonym of Stephen King's son.
Oh, well, it's got to be great then.
Oh, Joe King wrote it.
Joe Hill. It's
You
Joe
said
Hill.
Joe King.
It's
yeah,
a very
but we
good
know it's
series.
really Joe King.
It's a very good.
I thought you were joking.
Are you done?
Stephen King.
Are you done?
Joe King.
Stephen
King Hill.
Stephen King Jr.
Hill of
Anytime.
the King. King of the Hill.
Make the connection, idiot. Come on.
All right, so it's Stephen King's son, who is ultra talented and hasn't got by on his old man's
Name
past
whatsoever.
work. that he
Well,
did
that's
a
why
long
he goes
time
by
ago when it was
Hill.
good.
There's another key that gives a special ability where you can open up someone's head and remove or insert memories or knowledge.
Hang on, so you physically open their head.
Yes, it shows you in the comic. It's actually a really interesting piece. You see their head open up, and it's like there's just objects in there that represent their knowledge and memories and this kind of thing. And
So I
That
guess
would kill
we're lucky that Stephen King Jr. didn't go into neurosurgery.
it's a story.
But that would totally kill you, dude.
It's a story. You
How would that even work?
unimaginative dolts.
So they sew you back up after, and then you got to heal for months.
No, when you take the key out, it closes up. Anything that you have taken out of the head, you will have no memory or knowledge of.
Yeah, wear this special hat for a while. Don't try not to wash your hair.
And then there's another key where if you use it and you walk through that particular door, it will change your sex. You will become a different person or a somewhat similar person of the opposite sex.
But with a fanny.
Well, yeah,
With
if you
front
didn't
bump.
start out with one, you'd have one then, and vice versa.
So he ran out of ideas, really, didn't he, old Stephen King Jr.?
No, there's actually several keys, and that's part of the fun of the
The couples
books is
go
that
in
they
there
discover.
and fucking reverse sometimes.
Well, you know what? I'm going to skip Uber because I've only read one issue of it. And
You don't
move
really
on.
like comic books at all, do you?
I do love comic books. I love them.
Yeah.
You know, if you were downloading them from Easy News, that's Easy News, you'd probably read a lot more of them. They're less expensive.
read Marvel
that way.
Unlimited, and I also buy on
They're
Comixology.
they're even cheaper on the Pirate Bay.
So there's another one that's actually a tie. And now this is great because it's a tie-in to two things I really like: comics and board games. Kill Shakespeare. Now,
I find that offensive.
the idea is that imagine that in some type of universe, the world that Shakespeare wrote about actually exists. So
Or
there,
England.
no, we're talking about places like Padua and Verona and those types of places.
Well,
and
they
his
do exist
characters
as well.
exist.
Verona, people go there on holiday.
Good. And their characters exist. It's all part of this world that Shakespeare has created just by writing about it because they're so
that's a
well defined. And
Good idea.
yeah. And what happens in the comic and in the board game is that you've got Richard III and Lady Macbeth working together to try to kill Shakespeare. Shakespeare is seen as this kind of legendary, mythical god type creature. And they recruit Hamlet to come and go on a quest to kill Shakespeare. And you run into other Shakespearean characters like Othello and Falstaff, and there's Puck is in there. And
Who? Falstog?
Falstaff.
Falstaff?
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking of the
it's-
Thor comic.
Wow, God.
It's
One of
easy
the
to confuse
one of the
comics from
Warriors
Shakespeare.
3 is Falstaff.
So these dudes, they killed. Who wrote this? Because they basically just thought, well, we ain't got no ideas. How about we've got to do a pitch for the comic book company tomorrow. What about Shakespeare? If we just get all the characters out of Shakespeare and then they try and kill Shakespeare, but it doesn't make sense because if you kill Shakespeare, none of them would exist.
Well, not in this set of universal rules.
So are any of them trying to save Shakespeare?
Yes.
And so those are all fighting on a board game?
Yes, what you do is you play cooperatively. You play as other members of the works of Shakespeare. You could play as
Who plays
Juliet.
Shakespeare?
Nobody plays
Well,
as
but
Shakespeare.
I'm looking at the box here, and it looks like Carl McLachlan off of the Twin Peaks program.
So
Four
you
other-
can be Hamlet and just decide not to kill Shakespeare.
It's cooperative. You're trying to beat the game more than you're trying to beat each other.
What do you think about this, P?
Sounds terrible. I mean, how do you beat the game? What are points? What do you do? How do you score?
Are you familiar with Risk?
Yeah.
You know how in Risk you can move armies into different areas of different countries, and by how many are represented there and eliminating other armies, that's how you conquer a country and ultimately the world in Risk. Well, Kill Shakespeare is somewhat similar. Richard III has influence over certain countries, and you kind of battle to move in with influence on Richard III's country to try to remove his influence from the world, and ultimately...
Richard I's country is England.
And in Risk, you're trying to beat each other anyway.
So has it got England and Scotland for Lady Macbeth and then... Yeah?
No, it doesn't. It's got countries out of Shakespeare's literature.
Yeah, England, Scotland, Italy.
Not those.
Wherever Othello came from.
Yes.
The Moors.
The Moors, with the Hound of the Baskervilles. That'd be good. Why not chuck him in there? You're fucking making it up.
Yeah, I guess it's just what frustrates me is anybody could write a comic book.
Then you fucking do it.
I will.
You come up with a concept and you present it right here on the show.
All right, on the next podcast, I will debut The Adventures of the Astonishing Spectre Who.
Now I'd read that.
You fucking
Well,
assholes.
I'll have one ready. Next podcast, remind me. I can knock it up in about 30 minutes.
You two are asses.
That's going to do it for this episode of Belasco's Comic Book Corner.
Belasco loves his comic books. Belasco loves his comic books. Belasco loves his comic books more than you love your pets.
SFJ.
So you guys are friends with the French again, I see. That's all forgiven, is it? The freedom fries and the cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
I'm not going to say we're friends.
Obviously, it was absolutely terrible. I'm glad we're all united now for free speech,
They're still
especially our
frogs.
Prime Minister, David Cameron, who runs a country where a man got a criminal record for a Twitter joke where he said he's going to blow up Nottingham Airport if it snowed because he couldn't see his girlfriend. But have you seen this Charlie Hebdo magazine?
Just what's in the media here.
Yeah, the cartoons, like the front covers and that.
What I fear is that, unfortunately, the terrorists have executed the only courageous people in France.
P, back me up on this. It's a bit broad, don't you think, the humour? It's not very subtle. As a matter of fact...
Oh, hell no. It's done to infuriate them. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Belasco, I bet you love it. We all know that you like that kind of joke. You know, the
I
Mr.
like the
Bean,
subtle
Benny
stuff.
Hill.
I have a very wide range.
You'd like to see someone step on a hoe and it come up and hit him in the face.
I find that funny. Yes, I do.
Yes, you find that hilarious.
I do. And I also find more subtle things funny as well.
And again, we've yet to see any evidence of that on the podcast. But, oh, look, here's a picture of Muhammad with his bum out.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
And here comes the Jew sticking his finger in it.
Yeah, what happens when like someone turns up for a job at Charlie Hebdo, which incidentally, there won't be many people doing that.
No, I don't
No,
know.
there won't.
The line for those applications is not long.
Yeah, if you want to get in now. So they turn up, they've got their portfolio, they're opening up. All right, so here's Muhammad wanking off Hitler. Here's my old bent-nosed Jew being anally raped by Jesus. Brilliant stuff. Like, when can you start? Can you be in Monday morning? But it struck me, if anything should happen to the current editor of Charlie Hebdo, and let's face it, it could, the perfect person to run that august publication
Is me.
it is you, definitely.
Yes.
Get your CV over there, and I don't mean your crappy old Citroen.
My what?
Huh?
No, that'll work in the edit.
F.
And now it's time for R&B News with Booze.
Yeah, boy!
Let's have fucking Easy E.
Scantily clad R&B songbird Rihanna escaped from a zoo this week.
Oh,
Wow.
The video footage shows the moment Rihanna led two pals on an escape bid from a safari park after spotting a security guard had fallen asleep. They escaped from the front entrance of the Ramat Gan Safari Park in the city of Ramat Gan, of course, in the Tel Aviv district of Western Israel, although another employee at the park gave chase. It was too late to stop Rihanna and pals from hitting the road. An inquiry is now ongoing to find out why the gate to their enclosure and the gate to the facility itself have been left open. So I would say the big news here is the fact that Rihanna and pals have been incarcerated in a safari park, although she gets up to naughty stuff. Maybe it's the only place they had to lock them up.
she's wild,
That's right.
man.
Literally.
Overall, Rihanna and friends were outside about 10 minutes, in which they were in the parking lot adjacent to the entrance and did not enter the national park. The security guard that was supposed to stop them has reportedly been relieved of his duties. So yeah, Rihanna escaped from us. Do you know what?
What?
I've got to come clean. It's not really Rihanna, the scantily clad songbird. It's a rhinoceros that they've named Rihanna after her.
Uh-huh. I'm DuckDuckGo imaging her now. Yeah, she's scantily clad in a lot of pictures, isn't she?
What, the rhino?
Dude, if this is really her ass, I see why they named a rhino after it.
She gives me the horn.
Chinese, Chinaman, Japanese, Chinaman, Korean, Chinaman, woman, man, woman. Chinese, Chinaman, Japanese, Chinaman, Korean, Chinaman, woman, man, woman.
Professor Turtleman.
Brings you current affairs. Most of them feature monkeys and bears. It's the news from the east where the news never sleeps. Here comes the copter and beeps. Chinese, Chinaman, Japanese, Chinaman, Korean, Chinaman, woman, man, woman. Chinese, Chinaman, Japanese, Chinaman, Korean, Chinaman, woman, man, woman.
Hey, guys.
What?
What do you say I take up the old Turtleman Copter for the news round this week?
Oh, it's the Turtleman Copter now.
This is Professor Chuck Turtleman's news round. A Wichita woman thought she had found the deal of her life when an online monkey breeder agreed to sell her a Capuchin monkey that usually sells for $3,000 to $5,000 for only $100. Much to her surprise and ours, the monkey never arrived.
Wichita, Kansas. Wichita woman tried to buy a Capuchin monkey online, but it never came. Now she wonders if she'll ever get her money back. Quote, for 3 years I've been saying no, 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 no. And who's she? Amy Winehouse.
No, hang
Yes.
on. No, she's been saying no, 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 it says.
That's right. 5 no's. And finally, we researched about how to take care of one, said Erica Kraft, who tried to buy a monkey online. There are lots of sites online willing to sell Capuchin monkeys for thousands of dollars, but Kraft found one classified ad with a $100 price tag.
Bargain.
I'm going to tell you, as somebody whose granddad had 2 Capuchin monkeys, I know what you get for a $100 monkey. It ain't good. You get something like Miss fucking Pete.
Hang on, P, I don't think you've told us about this before. Your granddad had monkeys, you say?
Yeah, he had 2 monkeys, a boy monkey and a girl monkey named Pete and Miss Pete. Miss Pete was the girl monkey.
Oh, shit.
Pete was real sweet and liked to wear hats. Miss Pete had her, pretty much her face eaten off by another monkey. My granddad got her from a carny, and she was all scarred up and her mouth wasn't closed. Her teeth showed all the time, and she had 2 big holes for nose, and she was scary, dude. And she was mean. She was a bad monkey. And yeah, I had nightmares about her. Yeah, that's the kind of monkey this lady would have wound up with for $100, if it even existed. She just got scammed for $100. But, you know, you just got to know better than, you know, the old saying, if something seems to be.
Something seems too good to be true. It's probably a monkey with no nose.
Well, and another thing, I don't think anyone could research how to take care of a monkey and decide to get one. The care sheets, just for the fun of it, Google any primate care sheet sometime, and you'll just go, oh my God, that sounds horrible. You may as well just let Frank move in your bedroom.
After she wired the money to Atlanta, the supposed breeder asked her to send another $860 for insurance to fly the monkey from Baltimore to Kansas.
They're not going to make the poor monkey fly coach.
That sucker's going to get the meal.
Can I have another tiny bag of peanuts, please?
got any bananas?
Quote, they tried to get more money from us and threatened us with going to jail from the FBI, Kraft said.
Now, I hate scammers as much as this lady kind of deserved it. but especially ones who try to use people's fear of the law to their advantage. We're going to call the FBI, Fish and Wildlife, send some more money, hold my dick real fast. The poor lady didn't know what hit her.
You sound like you've been a victim of this before.
Because I'm a feminist, I would never say that woman is a stupid fucking cow for sending a stranger $100 for a $4,000 monkey. But it's 2015 and women are smart now, so I won't say that.
Hey, this is the FBI Monkey Transport Department.
Did you send a monkey on business class instead of first class?
No.
We'd like to have a talk with you.
I didn't know it was against the law.
Do you realize that business class just does not provide the care required on a primate care sheet? We have to rigidly enforce these things. We had to let a chimp sit in the jump seat one time. Quote, no monkey ever came. That's when Kraft called the police. Quote, we're probably going to hear a lot of crap from family members now because we kind of kept this secret from them.
Oh, it wouldn't have been secret long. If there's a monkey in your house, people are going to know pretty quick when they come over.
Animal experts warn potential buyers that monkeys are not an ideal house pet.
How about that?
Quote, you can see a lot of problems, a lot of attitude changes, and they can be very difficult. Not to mention, they can be difficult to house train, said Matt Fouts with the Tanganyika Wildlife Park.
Now, hold up. This news outlet is Eyewitness News 12. Where is that?
Kansas?
I would guess so, yeah. It's Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
So, have they got a hotline? Hey, we got a monkey story. Anyone got a monkey expert? Oh, yeah, I'll get onto my pal Matt Fouts at the Tanganyika Wildlife Park. Matt, can you give us a quote on keeping capuchin monkeys at home?
You don't want to do it.
Can you say something like, you can see a lot of problems, a lot of attitude changes, they can be quite difficult, not to mention they can be difficult to house train.
All right.
All right, thanks, Matt. Bye-bye.
Sure thing, Paul.
Police have seen scams like this before, not only with monkeys, but with other animals as well. They warn if the deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Plus, you should always be cautious when buying things online from classified ads.
And from fans that pull up next to you in the street.
Yes.
Hey, you want to buy some speakers or a monkey?
No, people hardly even keep them anymore. There was a time people were dumb enough to, but I think so many people had monkeys in the 60s that everybody heard horror stories, and nobody has them now. Because there wasn't internet back then. It took
That's been a big difference.
After going through all of this, Kraft says she will not try to buy a monkey again.
What? She just needs to save up about another $3,900 and she can get one.
Yeah, but don't forget she researched how to take care of one, which, as you said, might have put her off a bit. Belasco, have you got any music? Play some music in and we'll give you the SFJ guide to taking care of your monkey.
Here you go.
Okay, so we're going to need some tiny hats, obviously.
Bananas.
Some clothes, dungarees seem to be their trouser of choice.
Yep.
Nice and easy to put on. But you need to leave it roomy in the arse area for the diaper or nappy if you're in England. What else do you need?
Well, wigs and makeup if it's a girl monkey.
Yeah, they want to look pretty.
Yep.
And, of course,
some cigarettes.
Well, lots of cigarettes.
Also need ashtrays.
You can't have enough
ashtrays.
cigarettes.
Lighters. You got to probably be pretty careful giving a monkey a lighter, too.
Well, you light it. Don't be silly. You light the cigarette for the monkey. That's the thing. That's the main reason why it's not good to have a monkey at home, because you're forever lighting their cigarettes. It's a real pain in the arse. It's time intensive. Don't go for the expensive cigarettes. You can, if you're in England, you can go for the inexpensive brands like Mayfair or Sovereign. The cigarettes we call over here Nan's fags.
In the US, we just call them Cools.
But possibly there could be some racial.
Yeah, Cools were marketed to black people, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Totally.
I didn't realize.
Frank.
Sorry.
That's the kind of thing we're trying to get away from on this podcast.
That's not what I did not intend that at all.
Anyway, that was the SFJ guide to looking after your monkey.
Jesus, I'm digging a hole.
Oh, and dig them a hole as well. I like that.
Yo, just give them a shovel. They'll take care of that. No one wants a new baby female Oklahoma gorilla. Not its own mother, not even other gorillas at other zoos. Little orphan Banani is currently taking a bus to Ohio to try her luck there.
God.
It puts the Calls joke into perspective.
The Oklahoma City Zoo and Botanical Garden welcomes a new member to the family. A western lowland gorilla was born in the early hours of Saturday, August 16th, inside a Great Escape day room to Mother Najoli and Father Togo. The baby gorilla weighed a little more than 4 pounds at birth, and she appears healthy and strong. However, zoo officials said the mother has not demonstrated any signs of maternal care towards the baby since giving birth, and the zoo's veterinarian team and gorilla keepers have made the decision to hand rear the infant.
Now, wouldn't you think if a mother gorilla doesn't want anything to do with a baby, she's probably got a reason? There's something wrong with it?
You'd like to think evolutionarily that would be the case.
Maybe that gorilla's just a fucking arsehole.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. Look at it.
Now, the photo of this monkey is one of the craziest things I've ever looked at. Its eyelashes are 6 inches long. They go down almost to the chin.
They're like drapes for her eyes.
Yeah.
It looks like only one. Is it both of them?
Yeah, it's both of them.
Well, one's more pronounced than the other. It's like an eyebrow version of Phil Oakey out of the Human League.
And she's literally going, "Don't you want me, baby?"
But that's what her mum's singing. I don't want me baby. She looks very content.
She does.
She's on that nice pink blanket and listening to some Human League. I've shared this story on another podcast. I have a little firsthand experience with Oklahoma gorillas.
Oh.
I took a road trip out west by car many years ago. Gosh, probably 20 years ago now. Just me and my girlfriend went across the country.
Yeah, I remember the marathon trip where you got married at the end of it. Is that, am I?
No, we broke
happily
up at the end of it, actually.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of broke up on the way home. But one of our stops was the Oklahoma Zoo.
Right. Romantic stop off.
Yeah, you go to a zoo with a girl. It's nice. Until a little monkey swung down to the glass and, like, tried to beat off on her face. I mean, a foot from her. And it was so fast, dude. You've never seen a hand jack this fast. And, of course, I started laughing, which made her mad. And that made it even funnier. So, dude, I mean, you're just retarded with laughter. You can't stop.
No, hang on, though. What, she didn't find this funny?
No, dude, she was mortified.
Well, come on, you two were never meant to be together.
No.
Yeah,
who would want to be a woman who doesn't find a monkey masturbating over her face funny?
Well, I know where to take dates from now on. So then we go to this gorilla enclosure, and there's this mother gorilla with a baby, and she scoots to the back of the log and has a bowel movement. She picks up this big turd, and breaks it in half and smells it, and I'm laughing so hard at this point. It's just like, because she was so grossed out by the masturbating monkey, you know, just anything more, and I just can't handle it. And then she just shoves them both in her mouth and starts eating. And dude, Stephanie started just like to gag when this monkey grabs its tit and washes down the shit with breast milk. With her own titty.
So this is the Oklahoma Zoo, right? Not a German pornographic movie.
It was the Oklahoma Zoo, and this is before the time of smartphones and stuff. Heck, it's before the time of cell phones.
But you can still send $19.95 to Sweet Feathery Jesus to get a videotape copy.
We'll draw you a picture.
So, I don't know that all Oklahoma gorillas are like that. I'm not going to cast a net and just color them all by the actions of one. But it is really possible that they just know it's a baby Oklahoma gorilla and nobody wants it.
Yeah.
It's a hotbed of perversion.
I don't want anything from those degenerates.
No. No, they got shitty gorillas. I know that firsthand.
After her mother rejected her in Oklahoma City, the baby gorilla was placed in the care of the Cincinnati Zoo. She was taken care of by humans wearing hairy vests.
Bob Hoskins.
The keepers taught Kamina how to act like a gorilla by crawling on their hands and knees so Kamina could practice abdominal and back riding.
That sounds like something you'd be into, Belasco.
I wouldn't mind, but they also used low grunting sounds to soothe her and coughing sounds to discourage behaviors. Well, now it's just getting me hot.
I wonder why coughing sounds discourage behaviors in gorillas. I'll remember that if one ever wants to kick my ass or anything, I'll cough.
Or when you stop laughing about jacking off in your lady's face.
There was glass between her and the monkey, but it just swung right down to a right face level and started beating it.
There a big splash on the glass, too?
Well, I mean, she just turned. She didn't let it finish.
Well, how rude.
I know.
They eventually placed her with 2 older female gorillas who didn't accept her either.
Oh. They should stick her with, who was it in Gorillas in the Mist?
Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver in a hairy vest.
You know, maybe the mom just knows there's something wrong with it, and it's like Macaulay Culkin in the Good Boy movie.
We need to talk about Kamina.
You are so cute, with lashes long. But you will grow, child, you will be strong. So nobody wants to get with ya, Oklahoma gorilla.
SFJ.
So it's January, and nothing reiterates the fact that the Christmas and New Year period is the home of the amateur drinker, more than the fact that people, as soon as 1st of January comes around, say, right, I'm not drinking for the whole of January. Cancer is bad. We'll fight cancer by not drinking. They call it dryathlon because, of course, it doesn't work, the pun, like Baldgust or Movember. So It's dryathlon.
Triathlon.
And that's good because that makes them sound like heroes.
Oh Christ.
I'm not just sitting on my sofa having a cup of tea. I'm an athlete in some way.
I'm dryathlon-ing.
Working my ass off not to drink booze.
Are you two participating?
I will be.
No, I'm having Johnny Walker Double Black as we speak.
Well, if you were going to do it, P, Turtleman, whoever you are, you would have to have started on the 1st of January. And I would say that the seasoned drinker, that is the last day they're going to start. Because if you ever need the hair of a dog.
Oh, yeah. It's New Year's Day for sure. I'm 14 days in of my triathlon of 2015. I feel pretty good about it.
I'm not doing it. I'll be honest with you. February, I'm going to do Debuary. Are you going to do Debuary?
What is Debuary?
It's where you dress up as the late 80s teen pop star Debbie Gibson in the entire 28 days.
And that's the only music you can listen to for the entire month.
You know, I didn't even realize I was celebrating it all along.
SFJ.
And now it's time for what kind of animal could Chuck Turtleman beat up this week? Now, this is a new segment on our show where you name an animal and I tell you how I could beat it up.
I was going to mention a dragon.
The dragon?
A dragon.
What the fuck you talking about?
See how you do against that.
Oh, if it's not real, I guess it depends on what I roll.
Okay, then, a Komodo dragon.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it can't bite me.
Fuck that. You can bite it back.
Dude, I'm not an animal. I'm going to fight like a man. I'll do traditional MMA unified rules that the Nevada State Athletic Commission accepts, and I'll fight under those.
Yeah, a lot of good it's going to do putting a Komodo dragon in a guillotine. That's not going to be any fun to watch. It's got to be able to bite you.
No, dude.
You can't have these stipulations every time.
It's not a stipulation.
It is a stipulation.
No, it's fair fighting. It's fighting like a damn gentleman.
If you're going to take on an animal, you cannot put restrictions on the animal.
Then I'm not going to fight it.
Surely it should be an animal that actually exists. Not
well, the
dragon.
Komodo dragon does.
Well, I've never seen one.
Komodo dragon would be a tough one, but I swear, I think if I just uncorked my very best left straight to one's temple, I'd drop it. They're big and they got a thick skull.
And they can bite.
No. Not if I'm fighting them. They can punch, they can kick, they can leg sweep, they can try any submission they know.
I'd put Stephen
can
Hawking
wrestle?
against a Komodo dragon if the Komodo dragon can't bite.
Don't want to get in a clinch with one.
No, you don't.
Keep your distance. You got the bigger reach.
I'll have to work from outside for sure.
Mm.
And maybe a good kick. Maybe you land just a good soccer kick right to the chin. You might roll one over easier than you think.
They're a good height for that.
Piss
Hang on,
it
though. I
off.
thought kicking was out because you always said that you could fight a kangaroo, but they're not allowed to kick. So I
Yeah.
thought kicking was off the table.
Well, it
Mark-
is. I wanted to box a kangaroo because I've never had an MMA fight and I never will. But I have boxed. I have had boxing matches.
Well, crucially, you have never boxed a kangaroo, though.
This is true.
So the kangaroo can't kick. The Komodo dragon can't bite.
Right.
So you get to choose the rules.
It'll only be boxing or just mixed martial arts.
I think we
Those
need to
will be my
put
two choices.
If you're going to put stipulations on the animals, we need to put stipulations on you. You got to fight the Komodo dragon with your hands behind your back in handcuffs.
Why would anyone?
Well,
fight-
actually, you're not going to punch it. Oh, you're going to be kicking it. I would. It's at the perfect height.
Oh no, I'm gonna unload on that thing's head.
This all sounds
With
very
the overhand
violent.
left.
Sounds very violent. Can you not take it on at, I don't know, darts? Because you would probably beat it at that.
I'd rather play darts against a Komodo dragon anyway than fight it.
I can see this is a bit designed purely to infuriate me.
All right. How about this? One Komodo dragon
Uh-huh.
and Eric Bristow, the crafty Cockney, the world darts champion from the 80s. And they come at you one at a time.
I can only speak for what I'd do with the Komodo dragon, and if it wouldn't try to chicken shit fight and bite,
Well, you can explain the rules to the dragon beforehand.
no, he'll have a muzzle on.
This is really unfair to the animal, Pete. You realize that?
No, basically, my point simply is, as big and tough as animals are, if they fought like gentlemen, there aren't that many that could really kick your ass.
Except a kangaroo.
Yeah, I contend the kangaroo would.
Oh,
kick your
dude,
ass.
I just watched that video one today in the fan club, boxing Woody Allen.
That kangaroo was having an off day.
Dude, if it fought anything like that, I'd feel bad about it. That one was so unskilled.
As soon as you
But hang on
landed a few
about-
punches, he would be pissed off and he would destroy you.
Some people can box, some kangaroos can box. They've just picked a kangaroo off of the
Dude,
street
he
or
was
whatever they
no
have in Australia.
bullshit. He was the middleweight champion. They said it at the beginning of the video. He was the Australian middleweight champion, and Australia's where kangaroos come from, so that makes him world middleweight champion. And he couldn't even beat Woody Allen. I'd have just been like, you
Woody
need to go to
Allen-
the gym for about a year before you come back and see me, son.
Woody Allen didn't even really go for it. That kangaroo was just leaning back laughing like, are you fucking kidding me? All Woody Allen would do is go up and give it a little shove. He was like, what is this? I'm not going to this wuss. You land a few punches on him, he will wail on you.
I think that's right. I mean, if Woody Allen had a pop at you, I mean, if I couldn't hit Woody Allen, I mean,
I
come on,
could.
Woody, calm down. I'm a big fan of Annie Hall and Broadway Danny Rhodes. That's my favourite. Come on, let's have a cup of tea and talk about your films.
You have a choice. You can fight one Komodo dragon that can't bite.
No, it's always one. Stop even bringing in
Well,
numbers.
no, I'm just trying to make this fair for
Then-
the animal.
Well, we can't get two Komodo dragons. That's going to be cost prohibitive.
True.
Yeah.
But you can choose one Komodo dragon to fight or 10 Woody Allens.
Wow. Even though it can't bite, I still got to go 10 Woody Allens for easiness.
Now, I just
I
want
mean-
to tempt Woody Allen lookalikes on the internet. I bet there are some. We need to line them all up.
10 Woody Allen impersonators.
All of them in little skinny wife beaters. And,
They'll all be
Giant gloves.
the 70s Woody Allen, wouldn't they?
yeah.
Go for that look rather than the Woody Allen of today. Although that'd be a lot easier. Just get a Oriental lady who's a lot younger than you to stand next to you. And
You got a choice. A Komodo dragon that can bite or Yoko Ono with a megaphone.
if there's one thing Yoko Ono don't need, it's a fucking megaphone.
That's the goddamn truth. And that was the first episode of What Animal Can Chuck Turtleman Beat Up This Week? And then I'll do the song.
You're not going to just use the same theme from your Guns and Animals quiz again, are you?
I'll come up with something great. You'll love it.
All right, good.
What kind of animals can Chuck Turtleman beat up this week? What kind of animals can Chuck Turtleman beat up this week? I wonder what kind of animals can Chuck Turtleman beat up this week? What kind of animals can Chuck Turtleman beat up this week?
Let's get it on!
Draft Queens! Are you bummed that your fantasy football season is over? Need to stare at useless stats and figures and select players to an imaginary tackle football team even longer? Well, just in time for the Super Bowl, it's Draft Queen's Big Game Extravaganza.
You're not allowed to say Super Bowl, P.
At all?
No, it's a trademark infringement. You have to say the big game.
Well, just in time for the big game, it's Draft Queen's Big Game Extravaganza. Carl P. from Manchester bet $5 on his lineup and won $50 million. Dean C. from Canada bet $12 and won $70 million.
Are you sure those figures are correct?
Nope. I don't have a copy of the read, just kind of going off memory here. But it was something like that. They won a lot of money, which means a lot of motherfuckers are losing their money. If they can pay that much to somebody that bet that little, then there are a lot of people kicking in. It's like the lottery. Statistically, you're not going to win. That's draftqueens.com.
So people would know that ad, will they? Because I've never heard of it.
Yep. People that listen to American podcasts will.
Dog's fucking snoring a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, she's gone to sleep.
Right next to your microphone.
No, she's about 4 feet away. Hey, Princess. What are you doing? Oh, wake up. Wake up, baby. Oh. There you go.
You don't bust her balls for going to bed early.
There's going to be no prizes for spotting when P's dog starts snoring this week.
What are you going to give away? More copies of Taken?
Well, the copy of Taken that we still got.
SFJ.
All right, guys. Seeing as I'm producer again, I've got a new segment, another one to introduce on this week's show.
Spoiled this week.
Yep, and I think you guys are really going to like it. It's called Cheeky Frank of the Week.
Cheeky Frank of the Week.
Each show I'll do a short spotlight on one of the fake Frank accounts that's been started. This week, we're going to look at 4 people. And these were all in listener Nicole Perez's People You May Know section of Facebook.
Now, we should explain. Anyone who's listening for the first time, Frank is someone who has been an idiot of Facebook quite a lot.
Yes.
And some people who may or may not be SFJ listeners have taken to setting up fake Frank accounts.
And then friending Frank's friends, generally.
Yes.
So that Frank will find out about them.
Yes,
and
but they're not very realistic fake Frank accounts, as you will.
No, they're not. And before you start to feel bad for Frank, stay with the bit because you're going to understand why.
He's just a
nothing
horrible
to feel.
person, man. He's a real shitbag. So
yeah, there's no reason to feel pity.
No one is really that mean to him anyway. They just do little things like make fake profiles that look like him, and he loses his mind over it. So anyway, listener Nicole Perez sent me a screenshot she had saved from her Facebook's People You May Know. And they were all fake Frank accounts. Let's take a look. The first one is Frank Gargretsky. Now, this one is Frank's regular profile picture, only he's wearing a knit cap that says Canada. It's red and white.
Canada.
He has a huge mustache like a walrus. Mm-hmm. And he has a Molson's turning up into his mouth. And he's wearing suspenders. And he's a Zamboni driver at NHL. And he has a couple mutual friends. The next one is a picture of a black rainforest frog that has been photoshopped over Frank's head, except Frank's glasses are cut out perfectly over the frogs. And its name is Patty Frogana. Patty doesn't have any friends yet. Then there's one that is really kind of cute. It's a flowing, pretty red-haired, and I like red hair, version of Frank with some kind of stylish 50s librarian-type glasses and bright red lipstick, and it's Fran Girl Ghana.
Imagine Scarlett Johansson stung by 1,000 bees.
Yeah. Frank is about a 400-pound man, and so with his long flowing red hair and red lipstick and black horn-rimmed glasses, he looks best I've ever seen him. And our final one we'll wrap up with is Francisco Garnandez.
Oh. Oh, I remember this guy.
Yep, he's a laborer at landscaping. He is Frank wearing a brightly colored poncho, a sombrero, with a rake over his shoulder and holding a taco. Oh, and a big Mexican mustache.
Oh.
A dirty Sanchez, as they call it.
Yes. A big, thick, Mexican dirty Sanchez mustache.
What nationality is he?
I believe Francisco is a Mexican.
Oh.
Frank despises Mexicans, and I'd say 1 out of 20 of his posts is bitching about immigration, and the reason he doesn't have a job and has to live on disability is because Mexicans have jobs.
I could have sworn he was going for Russian.
Otherwise, he'd be tooling around people's gardens on his rascal scooter.
Picking tomatoes, going up and down the rows. He could probably do that. But that is this week's, and you got 4 this week, Cheeky Frank of the Week.
Cheeky Frank of the Week.
S
F.
Sexy.
They're the idiots of Facebook. The idiots of Facebook. They love their gifts. Cancer is bad. They're the idiots of Facebook.
On this week's Idiots of Facebook, we're going to mostly cover our friend Mafia Life Frank, but real quick, I've got to touch on some exciting Lisa Brando news. Lisa Brando's gotten a note from Vin Diesel.
Oh.
Jesus.
So, yeah, she shared Vin Diesel's photo.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's a photo from Vin Diesel's timeline. And in the part up top where she writes, she says, "Just wanted to share." Lisa, thank you for being such a great friend. You being there for Paul Walker. Knowing what you went through the past year. You took time out talking to me. Being there for all of us. You're an amazing woman and a good friend.
Wait.
So Vin Diesel has sent her this message, right?
Wow. She shared a post from Vin Diesel?
No, she shared a photo from Vin Diesel's timeline.
Okay.
And in the part up top where you can comment, it says that.
Well, I'm sure that's what he meant.
Are you implying that it's possible that she typed the note from Vin Diesel?
Well, she definitely typed the note from Vin Diesel. I will not say that he didn't write it at some point, and she perhaps didn't know how to share. So
She maybe
Oh,
cut and paste
She's
it.
a social
Got her
media
son.
expert, though, right?
Yeah, but she's been under a lot of stress. She's had a lot go on in the last year.
Well, she's been through 3 bedroom doors, to my knowledge.
But you are definitely saying that there is absolutely no evidence that that text that she claims is from Vin Diesel.
We can't know one way or the other, I would say. Let's not judge her.
But she's attributing that text to him.
Seems to be the case. But the old lady with the bonnet, she'd be all over this.
Let's move on to our good friend Mafia Life Frank.
Yay.
Yes, let's.
As we touched on in Cheeky Frank of the Week, there are a lot of Frank profiles going up. Most of them don't even post anything or cause any trouble, but their existence is enough to drive Frank mental. But our friend Suzanne, and you might remember Suzanne, longtime listeners,
Susie Gatto.
Susie Gatto, who famously got into it with Lisa Brando on her timeline and explained to her how Marlon Brando could not be her father.
How dare she?
Suzanne is no longer friends with Lisa, and, well, let's see how she does trying to help out Frank. Susie says,
Frank, block your friends list. Go to your settings and make your friends private. Then he can only see mutual friends.
and we're going to have Booze read as Frank because he's done the accent masterclass and does a really spot-on Boston accent. Who was your masterclass coach, Booze?
David Allen Stern, Professor David Allen Stern.
Ah, okay.
He's the one who taught me how to speak Cockney as well.
So after Susie gives him this good advice of just changing his settings to private, Frank says,
No, that's going to give in to him. I am not going to do that. It's my FB, not his.
No, Frank Gargano, that's going to protect your friends from some BS that they're not involved in. Plus, you take your power back.
Lol, but I am not asking for any help or for anyone. Am I? No, I am not. Lol, I am or was just sending people and putting a heads up for them. Lol, oh, letter O, please, maybe you, letter U, need to read my post a little better before you, letter U. Put your 2 cents in, lol.
Wow, wow, wow. Frank, maybe you should reread your post. You have been going on and on about this idiot for a while now and subjected your friends to him. I told you how to protect your friends and their privacy, yet you refuse to do it? I'm not sure how much of a friend that makes you, and seems to me you're perpetuating this lunacy. I am out.
No, not going to do it, Sue. Sorry, I put my foot down. Drop it, okay, letters O and K. And you, letter U, never talk to me anyways. The only time you, letter U, talked to me was when I had a problem like a few weeks ago. I think I am right. So my question to you, letter U, is why, letter Y, don't you, letter U, ever talk to me?
1 minute later, Frank says,
Chris, that is what I am going to do as of right now. And from this point on, not my problem. People can report him if they like. I don't have to tell them they have to do anything. Lol.
Frank, I work 248 hours a month. I don't sit and chat on FB. However, if I see someone have a challenge, I will take a moment to try and help. If that's not enough, I'm sorry. Unfriend me.
248 hours a month? How does that break? That's nearly as much as you, Belasco.
Feels like it.
MP, letters MP. You, letter U, will not be missed at all, lol.
Don't worry about unfriending me. I will take care of it myself, as I value my privacy and don't need your BS following me because you refuse to protect your friends list. All the best to you in 2015.
so there went probably the most intelligent person Frank is friends with that actually has his best interests at heart. So now he has to turn to his Italian friends from his favorite social group. You know you're, Y-O-U-R, Italian when. Well, besides being bright guys, they're also eager to help out a friend. When we next see Frank, he's posting on his timeline to see if any of his friends are out there.
Hello, anyone around in FB land?
Well, he's in luck. His friend Robert from the streets is around, so they have a little back and forth.
Oh, yeah, but I'm busy at the moment. My boys are sleeping, and me and the wifey are playing house.
You, letter U, are one lucky man. I am about to jump out my window, lol.
It's time to keep the heart pumping, my friend. Keeps me young. Woo!
God bless you, letter U, and her, lol.
Thanks, Frank. The reason why I'm up is my Dante had an asthma attack, so I had to put the humidifier on. And my Rob had walking pneumonia. Tough when you're the stay-at-home dad. My boys are my life 11. My wifey is snoring, God bless her. But I want to make sure my Dante don't wake up again, my friend. Be safe. You're good people, and don't let people tell you otherwise.
Ah, so Robert from the streets is a stay-at-home dad. Good to know.
And his caps lock is broken as well.
Yeah, he can't turn off caps lock, poor guy. So Frank replies,
You, letter you, too. Thank you, letter you. Let's talk soon. I like you, letter you. Not in a sex way, lol.
these people are fucking retarded. I like you, not in a sex way, lol. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But as a friend, I really don't have any friends. Not saying I am feeling sorry for myself, but would like to become a friend in time. If it's okay, let us okay with you. Let you talk soon. And hope your family feels better tomorrow too.
Oh, now see, sometimes you get a nice side of Frank. And
Well, pathetic, I would call it, but yeah.
well, a not assholey side of Frank. And when you see those glimpses, you can almost feel sorry for him. Don't. He's an awful, awful human being. Without a redeeming quality, really.
None.
So, Frank and Robert from the streets are making fast friends. Robert says,
Frankie, that's what good people do. It was a sad day today. I had to go to a wake in East Boston, and I met a few people I talked to on FB. And they are real, Frank, just like you. And warm. That's because they were raised old school. It's just a different world now. It's when you turn your back, the old saying is, watch out, you might get stabbed. Be safe, my brother. Amen.
and now comes Hot Carl, who's a character that also gets involved in this, and he looks a little like the Fonzie in his profile pic. He's wearing a suit and sunglasses indoors.
It looks like his wife or ex-wife has been cut out of that picture because it ends quite abruptly.
Yeah, it is a strange crop, isn't it? So anyway, Hot Carl, he obviously knows Robert from the streets, and he says, and his caps lock is stuck on as well, he says, "You're just a fat stay-at-home Miss Doubtfire and Mr. Bubbles all in one pack. Go back to sleep. Hope the children are A-okay." Look at Hot Carl, the clever Italian ballbuster. Well, later on, one of Frank's friends stops by his page to share a little guy humor. And his name's Lawrence. "I hurt my wiener this morning by squeezing it too, Tio, hard.
LMFAO. Let us sell MFAO.
It turned purple." And Victoria Rose comes in to say,
Gross. Really, tell why you are your therapist. If you don't have, you should really get one. Totally disgusting. And improper for a comment on FB. WTF.
now Victoria Rose is probably, I don't know, well into her 60s and has a white afro. She's a crazy looking lady. And that wasn't enough for her. She goes on to say,
Lawrence Page, you, letter U, are, letter R, disgusting. Really, who gives a shit, you sick fuckle?
yeah, she misspells fuck. But
Fuckle.
after him saying I squeezed my wiener too hard, she thinks that's inappropriate for Facebook and tells him, "You're disgusting. Who gives a shit, you sick fuck?" So,
Didn't Frank go on a date with her? I mean, there's a little bit background story.
is
Isn't
she
she
the
the-
one that snorted oxy and passed out?
Don't know about that, but isn't she the one? She sent him a photo of herself, and it looked like it was off the set of Dallas back in the 80s.
So
And
yeah,
you got to thinking that she probably don't look like that anymore. Turns out she didn't. Now she's got a white afro. That was too much for Frank.
and I think she crushed up his OxyContin and snorted it too, and was drinking. And Frank doesn't drink; he just takes OxyContin by prescription.
Well, who needs drink when you've got Oxy?
So Frank tries to smooth it out between his friend and Vicky Rose and says,
Vic, it's okay. Let us okay, lol. He's my friend, HIS. And we play around like this, and it's okay, letters okay, and it's on my wall, not yours, okay, letters okay. So please keep your words to yourself and don't do it again, okay? Letters okay.
Really? Keep his words to himself. Tell him not to do it again. Huh. Really, R, letter R, U, letter U, kidding me. I don't like it. I'm a lady.
Well, except when she's telling people to go fuck all themselves.
Fuck oak.
Vic, it's on my wall. What don't you letter you get? It's not on your wall. If I want to post nude girls, I will you letter you have no fucking say, okay? You letter you are getting me mad now, so fucking chill, okay? Sit back and enjoy the ride. It would be the best you letter you ever had, okay?
No, dear. It was on Facebook.
And
Did you not nighties?
did you not notice? Tree.
Did you not nighties tree was on this as well as it was on my timeline? Cut the shit.
Oh, did you kiss your dead mother with that mouth? It's on mine. You letter you drinking LMFAO letters. LMFAO. Look up who wrote the fucking thing. Oh.
And Frank goes to all caps.
Me, that's how it's on my wall. My post, go back to bed. You, capital letter U, are drunk.
You, letter U, R, letter R, blocked. Asshole. Who the fuck do you think, letter U, think you, letter U, R, you, letter U, rude, idiotic bastard? Fuck you, letter U, blocked. I never want to, number 2, see, letter C, you, letter U, or meet you, letter U, letter U, R, letter R, not a gentleman.
Who gives a fuck what you letter you think? You letter you don't even know what you letter you are talking about.
And so about 3 hours went by. I guess Frank probably took an Oxycontin-induced nap. And when he comes back, he gets right to Facebook and in all caps types,
Open brackets. Victoria D. Rosa, close brackets. If I was you, capital letter U, I would keep my mouth shut. If not, I will tell FB World all about you, capital letter U. And just to let people know it was open brackets, Vicky Rose, close brackets. If I was you, capital letter U, I would keep my mouth shut. If not, I will tell FB World all about you, capital letter U. And just to let people know, it was open brackets, Vicky Rose, close brackets, that reported that pic the other day on me, but FB came back and said, MP, letters MP. I like it, Frank. Post more, my friend. Ha, ha, ha. Sucker up yours, so back off. If not, I got so much on you, capital letter U, that you, capital letter U, will cruise off of FB forever.
Jesus.
wow.
Lol, just stay off of my fucking wall and let me be a arsehole on my wall. And if I say it's okay, letters O and K, for someone to be, then who the fuck is anyone to tell me you letter U don't like it? Get out. Who needs you letter U anyways? You letter U have done shit for me. Lol.
Now there's not a period or a comma anywhere to be seen.
Except for the next post.
Yes. Yep. Frank posts a photo of a woman's midsection with her hand over her crotch, and she's nude, and it says, the vagina. The best engine in the world is the vagina. It can be started with one finger. It is self-lubricating. It takes any size piston, and it changes its own oil every 4 weeks. It is only a pity that the management system is so fucking temperamental.
Making friends, as always, Frank.
That's a bit sexist.
I know, I'm a feminist. I don't like that. Frank goes on to say,
Look, what I posted on my wall, lol. Yes, on my wall.
oh, wow. Boy, he is showing him. Next thing Frank posts, I guess he's troubled by all the burkas he sees in Somerville, Massachusetts. So he shares a post from Britain First about the matter.
100%. Anyone with me on this one?
And Frank has shared Britain First's photo, which is a pair of brown eyes looking out of a burqa. And it says,
Who is behind that mask? Question mark. Man? Question mark. Woman? Question mark. Terrorist? Question mark. Ban the burqa now! Exclamation mark.
so he decides he might want to protect himself.
Hey, got a question for my two friends. I need to get a handgun permit. You have a friend that will take care of me and cost, like give me a discount.
Oh, God.
And any pool in the city of Somerville for Class A to carry. I need help. I need to get here. I have some problems now. I need to protect myself. Hot Carl, Robert from the streets.
Yeah, so he tags Hot Carl and Robert from the streets. I know a little bit about getting a handgun permit. If Frank is even honest about the prescriptions he's on, he won't get one.
Do they give them to people on mobility scooters?
Not just because they're on a mobility scooter, but I don't think that would necessarily disqualify you.
He can have it like mounted on his handlebars.
That's true. Well, a few hours later, Frank's back on, and he's still really angry about it. He's back to all caps.
I will hurt him if I ever find out who he is and if I can get to him.
So
He
Yep.
won't hurt him. Basically, is what he's saying.
Otherwise, like Jabba the Hutt, he'll just send a bounty hunter out to get him.
in case you're thinking Frank's just an idiot and knows nothing about computers or Facebook accounts or how these things work, he makes a post to clear all that up. And I'm sure all these people making the catfish accounts got really nervous when they saw Frank post this.
Lol, I know more about FB and computers than most people on FB. I was a telecommunications tech.
Ah. Those of us who happen to know Frank a little better know that meant he used to be a telephone operator for the state when he worked a switchboard. But that's a telecommunications tech, and they know a lot about Facebook and computers, I guess.
Well, I know he must have been one because he can actually spell telecommunications.
It's about the only thing he spells right. I know. He even couldn't spell than right. But regular listeners know that Frank has been bigging himself up in the You Know Your Italian When Club by saying he's from the North End and has mob ties and knew everybody growing up. Well, fake Franks began to friend request his friends, as always. And at first, his buddies were all there to help him, Okay, we'll get these hackers. Then Frank being Frank, as you've seen, he gets in fights with all the women in the group. And so these Italian gentlemen in the club start to think, hold on here, is this Frank really all he's cracked up to be? Maybe he's the bad guy. So, Frank had his big fight with Vicky Rose, and in response to that comment, where he had the open brackets and closed brackets and really called her out and said he'd make her crawl off Facebook forever, Hot Carl comes in, as does Robert from the streets, and Hot Carl says, Frank, did you tell this to Vicky? Why are you taking like this to her? Why not tell her it's not you doing this if you want to be a good guy? Vicky is much liked on FB. Robert from the street says,
Who were your friends when you were growing up in the North End? Me, I know all my friends in East Boston, Revere.
Hot Carl says, Frank at Symbol. S-I-M-B-L-E. Frank at Symbol. Who were your friends in the North End?
Uh-oh. Starting to question Frank. Everyone from Endicott Street.
Throw a name at me. I worked on Hanover Street. I worked on the corner liquor store.
Yeah, that's Robert from the streets. So Robert and Hot Carl are starting to put the pressure on Frank.
No, she said this to me, not to the fake one. She knows what she is doing. She is a sneak.
You are a cute guy, Frank. Tell me something. I grew up in the North End. I know all the guys your age. Well, do you know that, you pal?
Come on, Frank.
I think I read that correctly.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah.
You read it exactly correct.
Okay.
Come on, Frank. Let's hear your answer.
I don't! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
You don't what?
I don't understand the question, sorry.
Frank, my family is Paz Bakery on Prince Street. I had the Paul Revere on Hanover Street, 1978. Know all of Endicott Street. Trying to do good by you. So Frank decides to name some names.
Biffo. Freddie Sarno. Anthony Coppola. Gizzy Coppola. Gubby. Dominic Viani, Paul Contracto,
Yeah, he just got back from Home Depot and came up with that.
Stephen Andrade, Michael Anzilotti, Rich Spag.
Rich Spag?
He sounds like an Italian rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And so many more. I am a bad speller. Why letter Y are you asking me this question?
1 minute later, he says,
Bobo. Gigolo.
Hot Carl says, got my reason. Show me who you hang with, and I will tell you who you are, as the story goes.
Peter Render. Patsy Baroni.
Frank, you are a real bad spelled, and he a lot older than you. What are you, 50?
I hung in the Sons of Italy club, okay? Yes.
Then Hot Carl goes all caps. What pick was that, Frank?
So what's happened there? What's he talking about with this pic?
I guess a new Frank profile has friend requested Carl.
Oh,
Frank Talibana?
Frank Talibangano, wasn't it?
I don't know, but after making him name Taco Tony and Tommy Lasagna and Jimmy Two Fingers, they used to call him Two Fingers Jimmy, and go through all that song and dance, he sees this new fake profile, Hot Carl does, and he just flips. So, I mean, I guess these guys deduce that all these different Franks are, in fact, Frank, disguising himself as, oh, I don't know, a frog.
A Mexican.
Bin Laden. So Hot Carl has finally turned, and he says in all caps, 3 guys, all with the same face. Guess what the first name is? Frank, Frank, Frank. If you are fucking with us, beware. So then Carl says, and don't you worry, because I am on it and finding out some shit that I don't like. And then a little bit later says, hate being played by a perv.
Oh,
I don't know where he's getting that, but
yeah. Where did this come from?
Allegedly.
Well, Hot Carl was alleging it, not us.
yeah.
Nothing
so-
to do with me.
Yeah.
Hot Carl goes on to say, looks like it. See some things I just don't like.
Now, I should point out that Dr. P or Turtleman or whatever he's called is putting in some full stops and punctuation that is just not there, because otherwise you just wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, we have to read this in such a way that the listener can...
Hot Carl never uses any punctuation whatsoever. Just all caps.
He's either all caps or all lowercase. Anyway, so then Robert from the street says,
Listen to me, you pervert. Get off FB or it'll come find you, myself, and break your friggin' head. You and your games you play. I see you post about the friggin' porn and all the shit you dig into. So you talk about Vicky again, I will find you and we will go at it, Frank, the two-face MF. Stay off of FB and don't mention Vicky again. And this time I mean it. You are a scumbag lowlife MF. And how many names do you have, you snake?
Wow.
Now, what this means is Robert from the streets and Hot Carl have been seeing these fake profiles and thinking that they're all Franks. And I guess Frank is a master of disguise and is trying to pull one over on them.
But they're getting a little Italian task force together to sort him out.
So it looks like Hot Carl and Robert from the streets have turned on our friend Frank. Will Frank leave Facebook forever? Will Hot Carl and Robert from the streets kill Frank? Will the hacker make a fake Hot Carl account and make it look like Frank is behind it? Find out on part 2 of this exciting 2-part edition of Idiots of Facebook. Available for only $19.95 or $9.95 with proof of purchase of 2 flashlights using the code name Jesus.
In Napoli, one boy meets girl, is what they say.
So that's going to do it for episode 89 of the SweetFeatheryJesus.com podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. If you listen to us on iTunes or Stitcher or anything like that, please give us a rating. That would help us out a lot. We don't usually ask for money or beg for money. We don't have ads. Or
Actually, we never do.
Never.
If you like us, give us a nice rating on iTunes or whatever. That's all we ask. That'd be really handy. Or, talk about us in the podcast subreddit of your choice.
Baked goods, we accept.
Yes.
Come over to Facebook and give us a like on there. That helps us out as well.
And when you give us a like on our main page, right in there, let me in your secret fan club. Lots of fun stuff goes on behind the scenes in there.
So thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time.
Happy triathlon. Night.
Night.
Stay sexy.
Oh, I'm going to say that again?
Yeah, it's a good line.
Sorry, that's the wrong answer. Next contestant.
That was my dryer.
It's monkey-rific. Oh, shit, I just said it.
Jesus.